Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have an unbelievable amount of comic books to show you guys. Welcome back to King Midas Collects. It's been a few weeks, but I think because it's piling up again, we have to get around to showing you guys what's sitting here, what's come through the office, the warehouse, the basement, so to speak. So let's get right into it. We're going to start off with some Dave Stevens stuff. We did a little bit of a trade, just trying to take some stuff off of my wish list. I realized that I don't have a lot of Dave Stevens books. I had maybe like 10 or 12 of them. I don't know if that's considered a lot or not, but there's a decent amount of books out there that I didn't have and that I still don't have. But we're going to show you some that have been picked up in this last week or so. And once he sees this video, he'll know that we're talking about his books. But first off, Jungle Comics #1, 1986 or 88 or 89. It's one of those. What's interesting about this, it's pretty cool. It's miscut. So there's this black border up top that's absolutely not supposed to be there, but is on the cover. So gives this book a little bit of spice, so to speak. Now, when it comes to miscuts, misprints in comics, error books aren't really as prevalent as you would say in the card community. A lot of cards with misprints, there's a huge following. People want miscut cards all the time. With comics, I'm not sure if that's the case or not, but it leaves this one to just be one of those unique cases, and it's a unique book, and it's already a Dave Stevens book. It's not a double cover, but you know, close enough to have some notoriety. Next up, we have a Twisted Tales. This is I believe it's just a one-shot, but again, just classic Dave Stevens. And definitely a book that you need to have in your collection if you're picking up his stuff. Or if you like Adam Hughes, right? Adam Hughes definitely takes a lot of inspiration from Mr. Stevens here. So King Kong, official adaptation of the fantasy classic. I think nobody really drew women as well as Stevens did in the past. Probably to this day, there's a few that are certainly up there for sure, but something about the unique style that he had that everyone loved. At the Crossfire and Rainbow special. Issue 404 for this miniseries. Of course, the famous Elvis cover here. There is another Crossfire Stevens cover that I do not have, so it is still on the wish list, and one of these days we'll get around to picking it up and bringing it home. Next up, what does this say? Isaac Asimov science fiction, graphic science fiction #1, Orbit. I'm not sure if this is a trade paperback or if it's just a prestige format book, but again, just another classic Dave Stevens cover. We have his final issue here, and looks like that does it for Stevens, but this is his final cover that he did for Bad Planet issue #6. Thomas Jane wrote this book, guys, The Punisher. So very cool. And unfortunately, within the year, he was gone. This untimely passing of Mr. Stevens, one of the best artists to ever grace the comic book scene. Speaking of one of the best for the modern era right now, who's done this for a long time, but is getting so much notoriety right now, Mark Spears. We have the Superwoman special, issue #1, the 1 in 25, Mark Spears variant here, Superwoman holding Lobo upside down. This book skyrocketed, took off. Maybe because of Lobo. There's another action comic where Lobo's sitting at a dinner table eating that Mark Spears did. If you find that book, I'm sure that one's pricey as well, but very good book. Also had a friend pick up this foil edition here of Minor Arcana. This is the J.D. Friesen foil edition. Wanted to get a non-foil, but all he could get was the foil, so all good with me. I missed out on it because it was FOC reveal, and I hate when that happens. Next up, we have this awesome Dawn here. 3 Tiers #1, signed by Joseph Michael Lisner. Variant edition here. 21 57 out of 2,500 signed copies of this book. Pretty cool stuff. And one that we actually had to get added to cover price because it wasn't on there. Oh, wait, look, there's more Steven stuff. Hey, Xena Warrior Princess, one of his later ones here. Easy one to grab. I don't think it's more than $5. This is Dark Horse Presents 100, I believe. There's 3 different issues for this book. So this is the back cover here of Dave Stevens' artwork. So this book is more sought after outside of the other 2 copies. I think this is cover C because of this pinup on the back cover. Oh, look. Another Dave Stevens, one of his classics here, Airboy issue number 5. And that speaks for itself, the return of Valkyrie. Next up, here's a fun one. This is early David Nakayama when he used to just put DN as his signature at the bottom here. This book is signed by 3 different artists, so I'm assuming Neo Rufino, I believe, is maybe the artist on this book, Beyond Wonderland. This is an Emerald City Comic Con exclusive, 500 copies out there from either 2008 or 2012. So early David Nakayama cover art with 3 different signatures on the book. Probably from anyone who was there at Emerald City Comic Con that year, which takes place in Seattle, Washington. All right, and then we picked up a X-Men Red number 1, Ji-Hung Lee, variant cover of Laura Kinney there, all new Wolverine at the time, right? This is a Golden Apple exclusive, I believe. And we got to pick up a photo variant, John Wick issue number 1. This is close to a $100 book. John Wick is hot. All 5 issues have a price. Are pretty pricey, in my opinion. 4 and 5, of course, you're looking at $35. Number 1, like I said, anywhere from $75 to $100, even for the photo variant. Fun stuff. And last but not least, from this particular trade, we have 2 out of the 4 turtles that David Nakayama did for Unknown Comics, Donatello and Leonardo. So we got to get the Raph and the Mikey at some point to complete the set. So pretty cool color bleeds from Mr. Nakayama. All right, next up, so that was the trade that we did. What I got rid of was Sally Forth, the Adam Hughes cover. Didn't want to get rid of that book. You know, one of these days we'll run into it again. So not too concerned about that. We have to, because I have to get Adam Hughes, Jenny Frison, Dave Stevens, Jeff DeCall, and Archer. Like any of the covers that those guys have ever done, I need them. Bill Sienkiewicz is on that list too, but he's not a priority. So let's move into some modern stuff from last month. Of course, they were doing all the Marvel vs. Capcom variant covers there. So we got 2 of Spidey. We're able to get the Iron Man for issue number 3. And my girl Psylocke on X-Men issue number 9. Next up is Alien Armageddon book 1944. This had interesting pin-up covers for all 3 issues. This is a 3-issue miniseries that just dropped. There's a cover B where she is not wearing anything. So if you're able to pick that up, they don't even consider it like the 1 in 10. It's technically a 1 in 10, but it was cover price wherever I was picking it up at. Next up, nice little ASM 65 Fantastic Four anniversary variant here. So Luna Vecchio, right? Is that her name? Did the cover there. And then we have a Tula Lotay for the new Aquaman number 1. Absolutely adore her artwork. And I was just telling the wife the other day that any one of her like originals or prints that we can find if she's ever at a convention, my goal is to at least have some of her original artwork. David Talaski, Batgirl issue number 3. It's kind of like the pose there with the katana. What's we got here? Oh, Critter issue number 6. Oh, put it this way. From Antarctic Press. have a key, but it's a facsimile. DC Comics presents issue number 26. First appearance of the new Teen Titans. That includes Cyborg, Raven, Starfire. All first appearances there. And of course, we wouldn't be remiss without picking up foil versions of that as well for that amazing first appearance book. Very, very big key issue for DC books in the 80s. What's funny about that is I actually had a really near mint newsstand edition of that book in like a 9.6. I traded it to TBC about a year and a half ago in a big trade for some stuff. Next up, more Mark Spears, DC versus Vampires World War V, issue number 6. Big Barda there. Then we have Ejikuri, again, DC versus Vampires. Looked like the top corner was like warped or something. More foil facsimiles, of course. Like, why not? Like, you get a foil copy of Fantastic Four #1 in its entirety as made in 1963. Yeah, I'll take it all day. Tiger. That's what it reminded me of. Geiger Comics, issue number 10 here. Absolutely Action Comics homage, one of the most homaged covers of all time. This one and ASM 300 for sure are up there. But always fun to see that homaged. Next up, we have a Gun Honey cover. This is a foil with this white. Again, do you guys rip these whites off? Somebody in the last comment for a video said that they did. So this is Derek Chu here. Gun Honey, Heat Seeker Combustion, issue number 2. Is this issue number 2? Yep, issue number 2, January 2025. Jenny Frison, of course. You always make sure we get at least 2 copies. Hello Darkness, issue number 6. Good book. Man. So Daredevil here, Unleash Hell, issue number 1, because it's a red band. It comes in the poly bag for whatever reason. She's not naked on the cover. It's just for more mature audiences on the inside of the book. In case a child goes to a comic store and decides they want to flip through this book, they got to poly bag it. But that is Swaby there on the cover with Elektra. So pretty dope. Might as well just take it out of the poly bag. There's no reason to, in my opinion. You never want to keep books in poly bags because it's just going to, you can't, if there's ever a key that comes in the poly and you want to get it graded, obviously you have to take it out of the wrap, but it also damages the book. And on top of that, the plastic, especially for poly bags from the 90s, just tend to disintegrate anyway. And it's like one of those flowers, what do they call it, that you like blow to make a wish? And it just blows everywhere. The plastic particles it's like it shatters like glass, and it's tough to get off your fingers, and it's a mess. I'm saving you guys on that one. All right, Magic #1, which came out last month. So this is the Ji-Hung Lee cover, and of course we had to get the Nakayama cover. So there's Mr. David Nakayama-san, and of course the #1 J. Scott Campbell cover, because you gotta get some Campbell. Next up, we have a third print. Is it the third print? Yep, third printing here from Monsters #1. Again, even that book is like a $30 book. It's insane. Final issue of, I believe it's the final one, but this awesome Namor issue number 6 by Lozano. Great cover. We have New Champions issue number 1, the Peach Momoko cover of, I believe this is Amaranth, right? Pretty sure either this one or another cover is the one that you want, because Nightshade might be on the cover. Nightshade was also on the cover of Marvel Voices from 2022 or 2023, I believe. So I literally just put that one in Mylar and put it away, but that book has gone up in value because that's her first cover appearance. You guys weren't aware of that. We have Ninja High School 197 getting close to issue 200. We always pick up anniversary issues for whatever comic book it is. So we're about to hit 200 for Ninja High School. We're pretty good for a independent anime-esque title in comic books. And this is, of course, an homage to that great Archie, that Archie cover where he tells, I think it's Betty, you know, I just had to beat off 3 guys. Oh, yeah, it says it right there, right? Sure did, Petunia. I had to beat off 3 other guys. Yeah, you had to beat them up. You had to protect the girl. More Frizen, of course. The Jenny Frizens. Like, you just can't get enough of this. This is perfection at its finest. She's actually doing an auction right now for her cover for Hello Darkness issue number 7, the nude variant that she did. Here's another one. We got 3 of that beautiful one. And then we got a Pablo Villalobos, of course. He's been doing some of the other variant covers as well. But yeah, she's auctioning off the like prints of that. And you know it's 5 figures easily. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. Quested. This is the final issue of volume 2 here, doing the 3DS version of that game. What's next? We have The Sickness, issue number 6. I don't know if people are still reading that book. Another Mark Spears goodness here. Shazam, issue 19. Yeah. I mean, it's like Mark Spears and Felipe Masafara, like the second coming of Alex Ross. It's fantastic. And when he draws them in their classic costumes like Alex Ross loves to do, amazing. All right, next up, Snot Girl, issue 17. Can't believe that's back. We got some John Royal action, so like to see it. Terra and Fury, issue number 1 is John Royal, right? Sometimes I get Paul Green and John Royal confused, but they're all J. Scott Campbell stands look alike. So Time Slide, picked this up, of course, David Nakayama, homaging X-Men 101. And this awesome, I think it's Aka for Ultimate Spider-Man or Ultimate Black Panther issue number 11. No, sorry, it's Puppeteer Lee who did the cover there of Storm. Beautiful cover. We have Perillo on Vampirella, of course. Glad, again, as always, I will repeat this until they stop doing it. I'm so glad that Dynamite went to cardstock for their paper quality. Sora Sung, I believe is the name here for this cover. What else we got? Oh, Panosian on the Hell Day 2024 special instead of the holidays, right? Vampirella issue number 1. There's a one-shot there. There's beautiful Stephen Platt cover for Galactus Transform Hulk. What If number 1. And to top it off, we have the Zen Sculpt 2024 pinup special. Who did the cover here? Ebas? No, it's not Ebas. Gotta open it up. It doesn't say because it's all the pinup, but I can't remember who did it. Chazudis, maybe? But of course, we got several copies of that. And yeah. There's a reason for it. Okay, so I'm going to save the next pile here that I have. This is from a collection buy. A small collection buy is helping somebody out during the holidays. So they had to move books. We came up to an agreement, and it's been great. I'm glad that I was able to help them out. That's all that really mattered. Helped increase my stock too for the shows that we have. So it was a win-win on both accounts. But we'll save that for the next video. I'm about to do back-to-back here. But I will show you these over here. So we got 2 medals this week that I wanted to show you guys, which will tie into the other books that just came in yesterday. But this is I Lie Popeye, the Mike Tyson homage variant here. Classic fight between Bluto and Popeye. This is a metal cover. You guys probably can't tell, but it's pretty sweet. It is pretty sweet. Really happy about it. And then another medal. I believe this is only limited to 900 copies of this medal here for Monsters issue number 3. So you already know that this book is going to be $200+, especially because of the metal, maybe even more. It'll be hard to find when there's only 900 copies of this book. But we'll talk more about Monsters in the next video. A couple more to talk about here. We have a Red Sonja, I believe this is issue 18 or 19. The Perillo Virgin. Just, these virgins are sick. And I'm glad that there is a virgin that exists in the trade dress. If you can't afford the virgins, of course, hey, enjoy the trade dress. Some of them are great. I love books with trade dress. Sometimes virgins are just, I don't know, too empty for me. Vampirus Carmilla issue number 25. Always picking up these magazines here with some throwback stuff here. San Julian on the cover, so we know it's old school 70s cover that's been reprinted again, but fantastic as always. We have John Boy Myers connecting cover variants from Things from Another World for TMNT Last Ronin 2 are Re-Evolution. So these are connecting covers. I believe there's 1 or 2 more left. And then last but not least, we picked up another treasury, one of the foil treasuries that they've been doing. Excuse me. So here we go, Limited Collector's Edition, issue 48, Greatest Race of All Time, Superman versus Flash. Really happy to have this. The unfortunate thing is that the way that they packed this, they put, oh man, it's all like ripped down here too. Plastic's coming off. They put this at the bottom of the box, so I had to get a refund for this, unfortunately. But it created a huge crease here, and on the back side, there's another book back here, but on the back side, there's 1, 2, 3 significant creases there because it's foil. These foil covers crimp very, very easily, so any kind of pressure on top of them is the same thing that happened to that Batman book I showed you guys not too long ago, and it's like the same damage near the staple almost, because of what they have to do in order to make these covers to put the foil cover on it. So just be careful if you're ever ordering these. I guess try to get it at the store first and see, hopefully the distributor didn't mess it up sending it to them, but they certainly did for me. It was just the way that they packed it too. There was no reason to stuff books on top of it, maybe to save space, of course, for shipping purposes, yada yada, but still, it's unfortunate. I asked for another copy, they didn't have another copy, so I got refunded the money for the book. But I don't want that, I want to collect these, but then I have immediately a 7.0 copy of it because of the amount of damage that's been sustained to the book. So we're going to put that over there, and we're going to end this video. Thank you so much for seeing part 1 here. I'm going to turn this around immediately, start talking about part 2, but we're going to make sure we segment and don't go over 25 minutes. So thank you so much for tuning in, do all that great social media stuff, guys. I'm going to try posting more on the Instagram so that there's more content for you guys to digest. And in the meantime, as always, deepincollectibles.com. You'll see a lot of these books starting to trickle and posted online. Hey, take care, y'all. Bag and board 'em.